the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Whom?
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Fournier.
Here.
Prout.
Here.
McGarity.
Here.
Rick. Yor.
I'll entertain a motion to excuse Commissioner Rick and Commissioner Yor.
Move to excuse Commissioner Rick and Commissioner Yor.
Support.
Do we have any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Prout.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to item 4, announcements, acknowledgments, communications, and reports. Tonight we have the Beautification Committee with us, many members of it, I believe, and yes, thank you, and they're going to present the Snowflake Awards, which is a neighborhood decorating contest. So if I can have Junia Quirio and Lisa Taylor up to the microphone.
Hi, my name is Junia Quirio, and tonight, this is the 18th year we have presented the Snowflake Award. I'd like to introduce Lisa Taylor, who is one of our members. I was hoping others would come, but I think the weather. Some of the things that each of our members do is take part in the Gateway and Spots of Beauty spots. Dorothy and Lenore Park is Kathy Schaefer. Folsom Rock is Steve Belcher. Lincoln Triangle, that's me. The Rose Garden is Linda. Cats and Grosbeck is Steve again. Carnes Community Center is Cherie Gavy. The Zigzag Garden downtown by the clock is Lisa Taylor. North River Welcome Sign is Jennifer Gale. Shady Side Park is Tricia Stevens, and Harper and Crocker is Cherie. So just so you know, we just don't do this. We do a lot of things. But anyway, two special things that are happening, really exciting projects. The Rose Garden Memorial, this is going to be on southbound Gratiot, just south of the Art Center. And it's going to be all roses, and it's going to be a spectacular event. So it's going to be coming up, hopefully starting as soon as the weather breaks. The other thing is we're in partnership with Martha Teaberry this year. And we're making handicap gardens and, I have to write, and enhance the overall outdoor experience for people. So we're working in our community where we can. Anyway, down to the good stuff. Okay, this is the 18th year that the Mount Clemens Beautification Committee has presented the Snowflake Award for the time and effort in bringing a touch of light by decorating your homes for the 2024 holiday season. The city has been divided into 7 areas, and one home from each area was selected for this one-time recognition. In the past, a snowflake ornament was presented along with a Christmas photo of the home and a certificate of resignation. Since many people have already put away their Christmas decorations, we're now, if you get one out, we're now giving everybody a sun catcher you can hang in your window for the next couple of months. And then next year you can hang it on your tree. See it? Before I pass out the awards, I want to acknowledge everyone in the city who put a candle in their window, maybe hung a wreath on their door, maybe decorated their shrubbery in front with some lights. Anything you did, your time and effort, be it small or large, brought joy to your neighbors and the neighborhood and to the city. Thank you from the city and your neighbors for bringing a touch of Christmas joy. Thanks again to everyone in the city who helps make Mount Clemens a more viable place to live. Okay, I'm going to call through those names, and then in it is a certificate. I'll pass it so everyone of recognition. There's a sun catcher, And then if available, we did take a picture. It depending on whether or not you had lights were lit up. He went around several times trying to make sure that he got everybody. Kelly Regal, 210 Riverside. Cool, great, you're welcome. The Webbers on 273 Brettmeyer. Are they here? Okay. The Todd family. All right.
Thank you, Julia.
And when I mentioned, putting the decorations up and all, I didn't know it at the time, but I saw this family having a horrendously fun time putting up their lights, and it was my neighbor. Ryan and Sarah Harder. Valerie Stevens. We will hand deliver these then. Kyle Latham. 77 Robertson. Thank you, sir. And Christina. And I'm going to slaughter the last name. If you're here, Christina, 65 Hubbard. CLESIDSKI. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for decorating. Thank you for acknowledging the city and making it a more beautiful place to live.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who participated, as Junia said, and I think that the Beautification Committee was being a little modest because they do a lot of work on many of the gardens that she mentioned, but they do it all year long, or all of the season long, which is usually from like April through October, and they make sure that the weeds are pulled and that if some of the flowers have died, that they replant, and they've done an excellent job in the last 10 years of really trying to expand that to more and more gardens as they get more and more members of the Beautification Committee participating. So since Commissioner Rick is not here, if you would like to participate with the Beautification Commission, you can fill out one of our applications. Now, I will say you may not be a voting member because we may not have enough voting seats, but they are looking for volunteers, right? They're always looking for volunteers. What day do you meet?
We need the first Tuesday of every month.
First Tuesday of the month. Okay, go ahead.
This year will be the 39th year the Beautification Commission partners up with the city to help our community be a Tree City, USA. So I think
That's really great. With that, Junia always goes to Seminole Elementary, and she teaches lessons about planting trees, and the kids plant trees at Seminole. And so if you ask kids, they know Miss Junia because she comes to her classroom, and that's what our local treasure award is all about. People who are doing quiet things to make our community a really great place to live. So thank you, Junia, for all of your work, and thank you to all the members of the Beautification Commission. I'm really looking forward to this Martha T. Berry project. You're working with a renowned landscape designer who is doing that part for free, isn't he?
Yes.
What is his name? I'm sorry, Lisa.
I'm sorry.
Christopher. It just went out my head.
That's all right. Sorry, I put you on the spot. That's how. Anyway, so he's a renowned designer from all over the world. He does projects, and he's volunteered his time to help design these landscape beds, and most of them will be wheelchair height, so that in these courtyards, so that the people that live at and have mobility issues, they can go and have small gardens and tend to these gardens at Martha T. Berry. So it's a really fantastic project, and it's a big undertaking, and we will probably be coming to the community to say, hey, help support this community, to support this project, either volunteering or maybe donating. So stay tuned to that one. And you can follow them on the Mount Clemens Beautification Facebook page, and then get more information about volunteer opportunities. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions or comments to the Beautification Committee?
Before we get to comment,
Sure.
thank you also. And all of you who got those great sun catchers.
really lucked out. So, but thank you all so much for the work you're doing in our community. People notice it, and we're all grateful.
All right, we are going to move on now to adoption of the agenda. And if this is your first meeting and you want to do that, that's totally fine. You won't interrupt us. So now moving on to adoption of the agenda, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented. Support.
Questions or comments about the agenda? Okay, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
This is the portion of the meeting that we invite the public to address the commission. All that we ask is that you come to the microphone, give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 3-minute rule. Whoever would like to address the commission can come on up.
Hello, I'm Michael Zubis. I live at 322 North Avenue, and that's apartment 1 because there's a bunch of apartments there, and that's located in lovely Mount Clemens, Michigan. I come here today with a proposal. Recently, I read in the news that you guys are looking into moving the city hall, and I understand it. It makes a lot of sense. We turn this place into like a new rec bowl or expand the engine house next to the other engine house. That way there's 2 engine houses. That'd be really cool. But I thought about what would be a new place. Where can the new Mount Clemens City Hall go? And it's the old Macomb Daily building. I thought about it, and I feel like it would be the perfect place because you guys can condense a lot of services from here and from the facility on Elderidge because there's some utility garages in the back. And I feel like it would be really useful to have this because I think about this like a mall. A mall for a mall to be successful, needs an anchor. It needs a large store to draw customers. Well, for this building to work and operate, it also needs an anchor. It used to have a movie theater. But now it could really use a city hall to have the anchor. And then that could help pay off a lot of the bills because then you can bring in and turn it into a mixed use facility instead of the general downtown business that it's zoned as now. So that way it could be able to be useful by the community, outside of the government. So that way you guys can bring in revenue on top of actually having that. So not only would you have the city services, but you have revenue generations to be able to pay off the bills at the same time, whether it be all offices or even residential buildings. If you could get something in there to go with the government to be able to fill up that building with businesses at the same time, it's a win-win for everybody in the city. And we get to use the lovely old Macomb Daily building to become the new Mount Clemens city government. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission?
Gloria Haller, 260 Cass. I have a number of items. I tried to put them together in some sort of order that'd be easy to understand because you're not going to want to hear most of them. It's really too bad that, with the exception of former Mayor Dempsey, most of you are really not that familiar with Mount Clemens. So, what was the remark? Those who keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's a definition of insanity. I turned 84 last month, so I was 44 the last time this little folly took place, when they first gave birth to the DDA, which has been nothing but a parasitic sponge on the city ever since. If people had any idea, and I've made a lot of them aware, you know what TIF is? TIF is every year when you get your taxes, you know how they go up? Well, if you're in the DDA, you get that back. Wouldn't it be wonderful to get that back? But, you know, like the sign says, an animal farm, all animals are created equal, just some animals are more equal than others. So, let me make you aware of some things since you are unaware of them, since most of you not from here or were comatose at the time. 2015, Mark Hackle, there was a picture of him in the paper with his plans for the waterfront. What the hell? Excuse me, is he a taxpayer here? He's county executive, whoop-de-doo. That waterfront belongs to the residents. you need to put it to a vote whether or not you want to do something with it, just to facilitate the situation for the DDA. Most residents I talk to are against moving City Hall. And let me tell you why. I especially am. Where you got plans to move it to 10 South Main? I worked in that building for 2 years, 90 to 92, when MetLife was there. It seems Mr. Anton isn't really subject to the same rules. He's a special animal here, as everybody else. He built over top where some wooden buildings used to be that were stabilized in their structure by wooden pilings. Anybody else would have had to remove them. He didn't have to. He just built that building right on top of that mess. And in the summer, he'd be through the building, and especially in the elevator shafts. You know why? Because of the bug infestation in the pilings, which kind of explained why so many of us were having allergies and other problems health-wise. And MetLife left town. So you might want to reconsider putting your employees in a hazard zone.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Hearing none, we will move on to administrative responses to issues, which I don't see anything here. We will move to approval of minutes.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Support. Questions or comments about the last meeting's minutes? Call the roll, please.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Okay, moving to general business. Item A, Manchester Mount Clemens operating agreement. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the amended and restated operating agreement of Manchester Mount Clemens L3C as presented.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Shipman.
Enclosed for your consideration is a contribution agreement that will finalize the city's relationship with Manchester Mount Clemens L3C. The agreement acknowledges that Manchester was formed to engage in an activity which the IRS recognizes as a low-profit limited liability company. In order to reach this designation, the company must meet the definition of charitable purpose, which, as the recital indicates, moves to better the community by improving public safety, revitalizing the neighborhood, providing affordable housing, and encouraging economic development. The agreement acknowledges that the city will provide $20,705,000 towards the project, so long as the funds are received from the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. The agreement acknowledges that the city will retain 8% ownership in the Manchester Mount Clemens L3C entity. The city notes in the contribution agreement that it has the power and authority to carry out the transactions contemplated in the agreement, that the City Commission has reviewed it, is authorized to be party to the agreement, and that the property contributed is free from any liens and other encumbrances. Jim George, on behalf of the company that is also a party to the agreement, is warranting that it is a low-profit liability company, that it has requisite power and authority to carry out the transactions contemplated in the agreement, and that the city's equity interests are validly issued.
All right. Well, we had discussions earlier in our work session, but I'm sure there are still questions, so we'll continue that discussion now. Whoever would like to start.
I think it should be noted that we've had a lot of questions with respect to this low-profit, limited liability company that we're ending up with an 8% ownership in, which is a new program through the federal and state governments. It enables them to get money to help build the building, and they will get a federal tax credit, and we will get 8% of what should be a profitable company going forward. So we've asked a lot of questions. We were very concerned about liability. Go ahead,
Yes.
Mr. Huth. You
All right,
can-
thank you. This commission's great because it meets in a work session ahead of time, gives us a chance to more casually discuss some issues. And I'd say the leading issue that was brought up during the work session was whether or not there is a downside for the city of Mount Clemens to enter this agreement. We know the upside is that there's going to be a new project there. There's going to be people that are expected to support our community and the businesses in the community. We know that the city will have 8% in something that's promised to be good. The questions posed is what would happen if something goes wrong? What would happen if during the construction of this, a vendor doesn't get paid? Do the taxpayers in this commission have liability? The answer to that is no, it does not. One of the parties to this agreement that the commission is considering tonight is One North River Road. One North River Road is the entity that will be on the front lines building this. So if it does not pay somebody, besides tarnishing its reputation in this community and in the Metro Detroit area, it would be the entity that is responsible to pay somebody, not the city of Mount Clemens. The other question is, well, what would happen if it just doesn't work out? That the vision is that there's going to be a lot of people living here and paying rent, but for some reason, they just choose not to. Under those circumstances, our 8% does not have value. But as a flip side, typically when parties get involved with this type of situation, they have to reach in their pocket when it fails. And this is only a situation that provides upside if there's some value to it, but not downside if it doesn't work out. The agreement requires indemnification to the parties. That is, that we are entitled to be, if there's some unforeseen problem, we're entitled to have a shield put up and protect us by way of insurance or other assets of the company to keep the city from having liability in this. So while it's expected, like everything that gets started in the beginning, to go as gangbusters and be A+, in the event that it doesn't work out that way, there will be not liability or debt or obligations that will fall on the taxpayers of our community.
And to be clear, the $20 million is not coming from the city of Mount Clemens. The $20 million is an allocation from the state of Michigan. So it's not coming from our general fund.
Right. It seems like a win-win for everyone.
And we would be the first community
Right.
to experience this and to enter into this sort of agreement. So that's why we're all looking at it going,
How can this be?
Yeah, I feel that being the first community to take on something like this, one, I think it's very neat that, we have this opportunity. On the other hand, I do worry about some of the unforeseen things that may come out of this. And I'm not trying to be negative. It's just this is the first I've heard of a low profit limited liability company. And so, there's no, like you mentioned, there's no real investment from the city, but we'd be receiving 8% ownership. And that sounds really good on paper. I just want to make sure that for voting on this, that I fully understand what we're getting into and that all of our bases are taken care of, which it sounds like through Mr. Huth, pretty much all of them are. But I still have a little bit of nervousness just looking this over.
Well, I understand that, Commissioner Calhoun. It's a large amount of money. The current administration, the administration that was in place in Lansing before the end of the year, rushed to make sure that the allocations were made so that this project would be funded in whole, and that it was something that was in place so there wouldn't be the uncertainty of a new legislature turning upside down. But the agreement does require us to contribute only money that we receive from the state, and we've been promised as of the end of the last session that all branches of government in Lansing took the steps necessary to get us those funds. So I have to assume that's true, and if it's not, we don't have further liability.
does anybody else have any other questions? Okay. I can give you a second if you, if you want to think about it.
Okay, all right, I did.
Okay.
I guess I heard maybe once before, a couple weeks ago, about this. This wasn't, from what I understand from the work session, this wasn't the original model that was going to be used for this project. Do you know when the switch happened? And I assume it happened some time ago because it involved the legislature. But what was the timeline on that, and when the city knew that this was an opportunity?
Well, I'll give the reason I caught my breath a little bit is because the originally started before I was in place here in Mount Clemens, so I don't know when the transition came in terms of what the developer was thinking in terms of to call it a low profit entity like this. So my view is that it evolved because there's been changes of way taxes are being allocated for entities like this since when we started to where we are now. That's what caused the change. From our standpoint, I think we want to encourage the change because as 8% partners in something, we're rooting for it to be successful. We're trusting the guy that's the 92% partner that he's taking advantage of a tax benefit designation, a tax designation that best serves him, so hopefully best serves us. So I don't know when the change was made, but I understand why it was made.
We didn't hear about this. I believe that this mechanism, it was a very new entity. We didn't start getting
It was
any
about
information.
December of 23.
Yeah.
We signed that previous agreement. It was July. It was roughly 6 months later, just before the beginning of the year, when Jim had mentioned, hey, there's a new mechanism out there. I really want to take a good look at it. And because at that point, he could have started drawing down funds, but he didn't because this new opportunity was taking place up in Lansing.
I remember at one of the work sessions, hey, there is this thing that's brewing. And we heard about it like maybe that week, so we came to you as soon as we knew because we wanted to keep you in the loop.
And I know the governor has worked tirelessly, I think, to find different housing programs that make sense for these communities. And so.
And I can't tell you how many times I've gone to, I can tell you how many times I've gone to openings because like Edison Crossing, we had meetings after meetings after meetings with all these people from Edison Crossing. And I went to them and said, it's a beautiful facility. Thank you for wanting to build this here, but I don't want you here because you're a non-taxable property that I already have this huge burden. And we had the director of MISHA, who was at that time, he came to that opening. And he actually came to a preview because I wasn't at the opening. But he and I said to him, you are killing communities like Mount Clemens with these pilot programs because we have such a burden. 48% of our land is non-taxable. And here you come taking another piece. And, so now to see this as a kind of a fix to that and be able to provide affordable housing in Mount Clemens, which we know we need. Not even 100 people live in downtown right now, right? In the DDA district, not even 100 people live in downtown. This is 100 units? 100?
Yes.
Let's just call it 100. This is 100 units. This could triple the population of downtown. This is a huge opportunity. Even aside from all this 8% stuff, just the development alone is a huge opportunity. So I don't know. I'm excited.
Does this change I am too.
Yeah.
Does this change our previous agreement at all?
No, it does not change. This is the new, we weren't involved, we didn't have a previous agreement regarding these terms. The only thing that's changed is the amount of money that's involved.
A lot of questions.
All right. Awesome. I want everyone to feel comfortable, or as comfortable as enough as you can. Anybody else? All right. Call the roll, please.
Fournier.
Yes.
Kraut.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
All right, moving on to purchases and payments.
Move to approve purchases and payments of invoices as presented.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Shipman, there's no cover letter, so I'm just gonna ask everybody if they have any questions or comments about the item on purchases and payments. No? All right, seeing none, call the roll.
Crop,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Okay, moving to consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Call the roll, please.
McGarity,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Dempsey. Yes. Fournier.
Yes.
Crop,
Yes. Okay, moving to the city manager's report, Mr. Shipman.
The Downtown Development Authority will be reviewing its strategic plan at its meeting on January 8th. The current strategic plan was adopted in March 2024 and can be found on the DDA website at www.downtownmountclemens.org/resources. Christmas trees will be collected by the city's refuse contractor on your regularly scheduled refuse pickup day through January 24th, 2025. Please make sure the tree is bare and not in a plastic bag when placed at the curb for pickup. A reminder, dog and cat licenses will be available for renewal in the treasurer's office through the end of February. You must provide proof of a current rabies vaccination to renew. After February, there will be a $10 late fee. City offices will be closed on Monday, January 20th, 2025, in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Therefore, the next regularly scheduled City Commission meeting will be held on Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. Refuse pickup will remain on schedule during the week of January 20th. When snow is forecasted, please remove parked vehicles from the streets and watch for the city to declare a snow emergency. When a snow emergency is declared, it is posted on all major news stations, the city's social media, and the city's website. Please look to one of those broadcasts or contact the city to determine if a snow emergency has been declared. Mount Clemens Parks and Recreation Department Winter 2025 recreation programming is currently open for registration. We are offering a variety of youth, adult, and senior programming, which includes adult fitness classes, pickleball, a CPR class, showing and crochet clubs, sports camps, and bingo night. For more information, please contact Mount Clemens Parks and Recreation. Mount Clemens Fire Department has purchased 120 smoke detectors with funds donated from the Eastside Tavern's summer fundraising effort. These smoke detectors are free to Mount Clemens residents while supplies last. Mount Clemens residents only need to verify their address to receive a free smoke detector at the fire station. Residents unable to drive or without transportation should contact the fire department directly at 586-469-6840, and a free smoke detector will be delivered to your home. The fire department wants to remind the community that early detection of a fire is the key to protecting your family and reducing property damage. A working smoke detector can save your life and your home. Get yours at the fire station located at 2 Dickinson Street. Our upcoming events: the 19th Annual Fire and Ice Chili Cook-Off and Pub Crawl fundraiser is Thursday, January 30th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. 10 local establishments will compete for the highly coveted Chili Cook-Off crown. Tickets will be available soon at the participating bars and restaurants. All proceeds to benefit the Anton Arts Center and the Mount Clemens Goodfellows. For more information, call 586-469-4168. And the 19th Annual Ice Carving Show downtown, Saturday, February 1st and Sunday, February 2nd. If you are interested in sponsoring an ice sculpture for this year, the deadline for entries is Friday, January 24th. Contact the Downtown Development Authority office at 586-469-4168, or you can email mweiss@mountclemens.gov, and our own Mickey Weiss will hook you up.
Anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Shipman? Okay, we'll move on to our second opportunity for the public to participate. Again, we ask that you come to the microphone, give us your full name, and abide by our 2-minute rule. We'll go ahead and open it up for comments.
Hello, Mike Zubis again. Do I have to give my address again?
That's okay.
So make sure I don't double dip. So I have a more personal gripe this time about the intersection of Elizabeth and North Avenue. I live just north of there. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so that intersection is very busy. There's 2 stop signs, one for coming from the jail down Elizabeth, and then the other street, which I always forget the name of it at that part, because I know it's not Joy Boulevard, but I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. I forget. But there's just so much going on, especially around rush hour, that it gets very aggravating, especially when I can't stand that I'm stuck standing all the time at the intersection there because I have to wait for all the other traffic to go around, just go to the party store to go grab a pop. So I propose that there should be a 1-lane roundabout somehow put in there in that area. It sounds, I love roundabouts. I like to play video games that consist of city building video games, namely City Skylines, and they put roundabouts everywhere in that game. And I have come to appreciate the ability of a roundabout to get rid of traffic problems in multiple 4-way and 3-way stops, especially up north, like 26 Mile and Van Dyke, where the highway is, or M53, not Van Dyke. There's like they call it a barbell thing, where they got 2 roundabouts, and they just work so beautifully getting people on and off traffic. So I see a roundabout right there would really help alleviate a lot of the traffic concerns, because especially after the trains go by, there's a lot of traffic build up. So I think that a roundabout there, and there's some other places, but right there specifically, since that road really needs to be worked on top of that, and I know like other parts have already had work on, that would be really beneficial for that part of Mount Clemens. So if there is a way to put that in the budget in the future, I'm not sure, but it's just a suggestion from me. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any other comments from the public?
Hello, Dave Taylor, 225 North Gratiot and 61 Macomb Place. The corner of Gallup and southbound Gratiot, it's a one-way street on Gallup. When you get to southbound Gratiot, if you look, you can't see when cars are coming because there's either a car sitting there or a big dumpster now. I'm surprised there's not more accidents there because I don't go that way anymore. I go all the way up around. But that right there is a hazard that I don't know how they're getting away with. I mean, it'd be like me asking, could I come and park my car on the median between the street and on the sidewalk, essentially? And that's where it kind of is, but it blocks every bit of your view right there. And when you go up to the next street, which I believe is Mosier, the next one up, there's been a pickup truck sitting there that is rotting. There's a sticker on it, but I don't know from when, but it's just falling apart and it's been sitting on the sidewalk for a long time. So, yeah, that was it. But the main one is since that's a one-way street going on to another one-way street, you can't see. So it's just scary. So I just wanted to bring it up and I always forget. So,
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has a comment for the commission? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to commissioner comments, and we will start with Commissioner McGarity today.
Happy New Year, everyone. Whew. I just have a few things. I do want to send an open invitation to anyone who would like to attend the annual Macomb County Ministerial Alliance Martin Luther King Breakfast. I do have tickets and they're available until Thursday at $50 per person or a table of 10 at $400. I am extremely grateful for the comments that came from our residents because you don't realize stuff until someone brings it up in a conversation. And I'm one, and Commissioner Rick is a witness. The Facebook comments back and forth are conversation on Facebook. Until you utilize the mic, there's no voice heard. And so as you saw, things were written down as you spoke and you give your suggestions and comments that were like, oh, didn't think about that. The street where you're turning on southbound Gratiot, I'm there all the time, and I scoot out just a little bit because I can't turn, and didn't even think, here I am on a commission, you know, to even bring that up. And you're right, it's an accident waiting to happen. So I just want to say I appreciate everyone. Don't be afraid to use the mic. You have the voice. We live in this city together, and together we make the city. So we're all doing the best that we can with what we have. One thing I have learned, because I used to always say, we need to get this street. I don't understand why we're not getting the street repaired. Well, it's just like your house. That street repair might cost $50,000, but you need a furnace or you need some windows. So what do? So the money that we get, sometimes it said, you can fix the streets, but here is only $20,000 that you could use to fix streets. You figure out what streets you want to use. So I gave that to say, everything is not as easy as it looks, but everybody working together makes it happen. And so thank you again for sharing the comments and insights that you have respectfully. The other thing I wanted to share is for our Mount Clemens residents, and I do say it often, but I was reminded of how much funding is available for water bill assistance for our residents. Mount Clemens and New Baltimore and Macomb County are the only two cities left to get this special funding from the state to take care of water bills up to $3,000. If you know someone in the city who needs help with their water bill, maybe it's $200, but they're on Social Security. You don't know unless you talk to them, because they might be the ones that need a new window or a new furnace. So let us take care of that. How? Contact Macomb County Community Action Center and just share your concerns. If it's not water, if it's utilities, or if it's eviction assistance, whatever your need might be, we will give you those resources. We cannot help you directly. Okay? Continue to come to the meetings and give your input respectfully. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Fournier.
Thank you. Congratulations again to all the Snowflake winners. I mean, that's really, it is beautiful to drive down the streets and see all the lights. And I know my granddaughter really appreciates it, because we've driven down many streets many times. She wants to go find that one that has the big snowman in front of it. But it's been a lot of fun. And a special shout out and thank you to all of the people involved on the Beautification Committee. I don't know a harder working committee that exists in this area.
Don't let the historic district, don't let the historic commission, some of the members are here.
But those ladies are out, they get a whole heck
You're
of
step
a
in it,
lot
Laura.
done. Huh? Yeah. No, they get an amazing amount of stuff done, and it's nothing is so frustrating as to have a garden spot and then see the weeds overgrown, and I know that it's a challenge to keep it up, and I really, really appreciate it. And one of these days I'm going to join you out there. So thank you very, very much for doing that. Okay. And no disrespect to the historical committee. You know, I'm a history major. My first life I was, but
We see you.
Beautification
It's okay.
Committee does an amazing job.
They do. Thank you. Commissioner Dempsey.
All the commissions do.
There you go.
Right? And I do appreciate the time you put in. I know how much work is involved. And so I do appreciate all of the commissions that we have and the committees that we have, because it's all volunteer time. And it's people in the community that want to see our community thrive. So I do want to shout out to all of them. All the Snowflake people, in honor of your Snowflake award, I wore mine. No, it's coincidence, but it worked out good.
It's all right. We'll let you.
Congratulations. And happy birthday to two of our commissioners, the mayor and the commissioner, Teresa McGarity. Both had birthdays just recently, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Calhoun.
Okay, so happy birthday to Mayor Crawford's and Commissioner McGarity. I didn't know your birthday. I think I sent a happy birthday thing, but I just clicked those. So I didn't realize. I only knew because Commissioner McGarity tagged me in a post. But so I just have
I think
to,
he called
to
you
say
out on that.
happy birthday. Happy New Year to everyone on the commission and in our community. It's a chance for a fresh start or to continue something that worked from last year. So I'm personally excited to continue working on the commission with my colleagues here, and I think we have a lot of great stuff coming up.
That's right.
And so,
We sure do.
let's see here. On Facebook, there was a very lively discussion about downtown, and thankful for everyone who makes their opinions heard, who tries to have conversations around that. And I encourage folks to please continue to talk about what's going on down there and come to meetings as well. I think there's a lot of additional information that surrounds these projects that's very difficult to convey just on Facebook. So if you have a concern, please bring it up here, and please make an effort to shop local as you buy things for people's birthdays or for other things throughout the year. A resident reached out to me about the electric car charging stations downtown, and that only one of them is now operating, according to them. And so I hope, I know this is something that's been brought up in the past, and I believe a solution was on the way. So I just wanted to mention that again because I promised them I would. And let's see here. Thank you to the Beautification Committee for your hard work throughout the year, and congratulations to the award winners. Last but not least, today is January 6th. 4 years ago, there was a heinous attack at the Capitol. I just want to say that today I'm thankful that there was a peaceful transfer of power. That is how things work in America. That's how we do things in our communities, with our friends, with our neighbors. And that's what America is supposed to look like. And so, not to get too political, but I'm very thankful that there was a peaceful transfer of power, which is the American way. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'm like, is there anybody else? I feel like I'm missing Commissioner So. We are, exactly. I would like to mention that there is a public meeting at 48 Cherry Street this Wednesday, January 8th at 6 p.m. And this is an opportunity for the public to come and learn, actually to just come and have their voices heard about downtown parking, because the city has been working on a parking study, and we have been getting feedback and information from, we did an online survey. We interviewed face-to-face business owners and commission members and anyone who wanted to be interviewed face-to-face. And then this is the general public's opportunity to come live, so in case you didn't want to do the online survey. So that parking survey meeting is this Wednesday, again, January 8th at 6 p.m. at 48 Cherry Street. So if you would like to be heard, please come on over to the meeting. I want to thank the Beautification Committee, even though I did it already, and all the winners of the home holiday decoration contest. I think it's always great, and I'm super envious because I love decorations, and I love to do that, and I live with the Grinch. So there will be no holiday decoration. There's some bows. I got him to put some bows in a wreath out, so. And I want to mention that I have, again, this month, coffee talks, and that is a great way to come and learn about the many projects that we're doing and have dialogue and talk about, and I can answer questions about these projects, and those opportunities are two. I try to do one in the morning and then one in the evening, so that way I'm accommodating schedules. Thursday, January 9th, at 6:30 p.m. at Black Cat Coffee. We will have that coffee talk, and then Tuesday, January 14th at John's Family Grill. So again, those are opportunities to have dialogue with somebody who can, if I don't have the answer, I have a way to get that for you and can get back to you on that. And it's just a really great way to come and learn about some of the really terrific things that are happening here, instead of putting negative comments out on Facebook and then getting information that isn't always true. So I think it's a little more of a reliable way to get information, personally. Again, happy birthday, Commissioner McGarity,
Thank you, same to you.
and happy birthday, Commissioner Dempsey, because yours is next. Isn't it like next week? So, also one quick thing about to mark your calendars and save the date, we are going to have a citywide cleanup with the Beautification Committee Sunday, May 4th. And so make sure you mark that date down so that you can come with us. And we had a really good time doing that last year, and had a great turnout. So we hope that we'll have even more. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.